Hello, and welcome to a very special Ask Lovecraft After Dark. We are going to be doing our very first game session. I have somehow managed to convince many of my talented writer and gamer friends to play a game of Hollow Earth Expedition. Joining us tonight, we have Scott Glancy, who will be our game master, and we have author Molly Tanzer and author Rachel Kolar. Welcome, everyone.
Hello, Lehman.
Hi, thanks.
So, Scott, give us the back of the box sort of description of Hollow Earth Expedition so folks have an idea what just they're about to watch.
Okay. Despite the fact that this is Lovecraft After Dark, I failed to bring Call of Cthulhu, which seems like a terrible oversight. This is more like, this is still something that might have appeared in the same books that his stuff was published in the same magazine. This is pulp. This is a game of over-the-top, four-color, high adventure set in the 1930s, filled with two-fisted adventure, punching Nazis off of Zeppelins into dinosaurs. Is basically the way I would sum this game up. It's not a game of brooding over your character's hard choices. You do not have to engage these Nazis in the marketplace of ideas. You can just punch them.
Fantastic.
I mean, as in life, so in art. Yeah, I got political immediately.
Nice.
That's called branding.
I'll have us the rest of us go around the table, and as I mentioned beforehand, we'll do the back of the action figure description of our character. So I am playing Gentleman John, a psychic con man who sells himself as the Ghost Wrangler for the elite set. Molly, can you tell us about you?
Yes, I think that what I came up with for my character is that her name is Catastrophe Nell, and she was a B-Western child star and trick writer in terrible movies that even TCM wouldn't play these days. And I think that is like literally where I stopped thinking about her, so I apologize.
Rachel?
I am playing Edith Carruthers, who is the personal assistant to two-fisted world traveler Richard Kane, who journeys to exotic locales, matches wits against vicious beasts, and then writes about his pulse-pounding exploits for magazines that cater to the adventurous gentleman. Except that Edith Carruthers actually is Richard Kane, writing under a pseudonym.
Ooh.
Can I ask an important question?
Yes.
What is your cat's name?
Coraline.
Nice. Hi, Coraline.
Yes, we are being photobombed by a cat because it's the internet.
I feel like I have made a terrible mistake by locking my cats out of the room. Perhaps I have violated some sort of internet cat, manners or etiquette.
Yeah, what the heck?
So I'm doing this from the basement, which is the coldest room in our house. So I'm wearing my warmest, comfiest sweater, which happens to be Coraline's favorite thing in the world. So it's coming.
Perfect. Well, it's appropriate that we're going to be in the cold, that you're cold, because we're going to be in the cold in the scenario. So what else do we need to do before I start setting this up?
I think that's it. Everyone, buckle up and enjoy. We got the live chat going, so if folks want to be yelling at us, as I always do when I'm listening to actual plays, feel free to do so. And yeah, Scott, take it away.
All right. Welcome back for another episode of Heroes of Hyperborea. This week's episode is Escape from the Bone Palace. When we left our intrepid heroes. They had journeyed to upstate New York to the home of Thorsten Kirkendall, eccentric millionaire and mining magnate. Agents of Thorsten Kirkendall had raided a archaeological dig in faraway Iceland and taken away a clue to the final location of Jotunheim, the land of the giants, which, of course, Edith Carruthers and her two assistants, although they would never allow themselves to be called assistants, they're probably pretty sure this story is about them and not Edith, have joined her in an attempt to recover the artifact, and they have penetrated the lavish mansion of Kirkendall, known as Asgard Manor. And during Mr. Kirkendall's Yule celebration here on, let's see here, Tuesday, December 27th, 1936, All around the mansion is stacked snow 3 feet deep. There's a recently plowed road up to the fabulous Norse-themed mansion here. It's filled with mead and roasting things and pigs and all of the kind of people that Kirkendall likes to surround himself with, mostly sycophants and hangers-on and very attractive people and people who have some sort of perhaps, let's say, entertainment value at the party, which I imagine is exactly how our heroes penetrated this party, bringing along Gentleman John, the psychic, to perform at the party various tricks of psychometry. And while having arrived in their splendid and probably tricked out with any number of James Bondian devices, stagecoach driven by Catastrophe Nell.
That's me.
Nell has slipped off, found her way into the back of the mansion through the servants' entrances, unlocked various doors, and with the assistance of course, Gentleman John, using his psychic powers to figure out what the combination of the safe was, you have penetrated the deepest heart of the basement of this mansion and have found your way to the giant safe belonging to Kirkendall, where he keeps all of the artifacts that he has pilfered from around the world, locked away safe in his safe. The door of the safe has swung open after you've all reassembled down here while the party is still going on upstairs. And
excellent, lovely work, Molly. Thank you.
And revealed a massive trove of what appears to be Viking artifacts all before you.
At last!
At last, there's that crescendoing music, much like the stuff that John Williams wrote when you're sticking the stick in the map and the light goes down and, okay, boom. That's where we leave you off. You've just arrived. The last cliffhanger was the door is beginning to swing open. Is it going to reveal a party of Kirkendall's Herdmen? Because, of course, he calls his bodyguards and thugs after Viking ranks because he's a lunatic. No, it does not reveal a pile of armed herdmen carrying Tommy guns. It instead reveals the interior of the safe. However, the one thing that is perhaps, leaps out at you is immediately just a little bit strange about the safe is that inside it, there is at the back of the safe, and it's a walk-in safe. It's huge. It's a vault, I should say. At the back of it is a big eye in a, well, not exactly a pyramid. Let's call it a triangle. It's actually a strange design at the back of the room, sort of a Mobius strip triangle where it's drawn like an optical illusion, so that it looks like it's got one side, right, all the way around. You know what I'm talking about? And with an eye in the middle of it. That is mounted on the wall at the back of the vault. It doesn't seem particularly Norse. However, many of the helmets, swords, shields, grave goods, and whatnot that are all over the place in here definitely do look Norse. And of course, the artifact that you are looking for is a scrimshaw map drawn or carved into a scapula from some sort of animal that was unearthed at a dig in Iceland. So, I present you with your open door. Feel free to step through it and start causing yourselves problems.
Gentleman John is going to obviously start looking for many historically inaccurate Viking helmets because, if he's going to be playing the part, he's got to find the right props and set dressings.
Something more operatic and less
precisely.
Actually,
He's done too many Wagner shows, and so is looking very disappointed when he doesn't see just the horns jumping out at him.
The only horns that seem to be in attendance are the ones you drink out of.
He'll grab one of those.
Okay, you'll be happy to know that they're encrusted in gold. So you're now adding larceny to this burglary.
Is there any items for horses?
Oh, yes, in fact, there's going to be plenty of things like that. There's going to be all kinds of crazy, ropey gold bit and bridle stuff that has been that has been up here. I'm sure some of the leather saddles have disintegrated over the years, but gold has a tendency to stand up. So as far as gold bits, bridles, things like that, the kind of things that Vikings might have. I'm not sure. Do those guys have stirrups? I know Mongols had stirrups.
Man, I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it.
There's some point where somebody realized stirrups are great, and you don't fall off your horse. And then we had them, but it took the Mongols rolling over everybody to pound that point home.
Wow, I just learned something on this. This isn't a podcast.
Sorry
this
about
is
that.
edutainment, is what
I
this
have
is.
a bad tendency to flip that stuff in every once in a while. Anyways, so yes, there is goodies like that. But Miss Carruthers, I believe you are looking for.
I am ignoring the goodies. I've been looking for this map for years. I can't be distracted now.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll under, let's see, perception on your character sheet. Perception is under secondary attributes. My goodness, you have a very high perception of 8. I will go ahead and say with that perception, you don't even have to roll. You just take the average. This is a game of dice pools for anyone out there who's listening. Her skill level is 8. The difficulty on this was 4, but she can automatically make the roll because her perception is so high. Boom.
So while she's doing that, Scott, I got a larceny of 6. What does an average of 3 allow me to larcen?
Well, at this point, the larceny took place before we actually started, before the credits rolled, and it was getting the safe open, that sort of thing. Picking locks to get down here.
Fair enough.
You have accomplished the larceny up to now. That was last week's episode.
Fair enough.
I'm sure that I'm sure we'll try and move on from that. Yes, this bone appears to be like the shoulder bone of some large animal, like a scapula. Or I guess that's what it's called, right? And it has been carved along the edge with this strange. It's been carved into a shape that also that includes a long, thin, carved section into it with a circle carved into the bone. Give me a cartography roll, please. Even with your cartography of 8, I will need a roll on this.
Alrighty.
Ooh.
Okay, so evens or successes?
How's that again?
Evens or successes?
Evens or successes.
Okay. 5.
All right. Looking at this piece of bone, you realize what this thing is. It purports, based on some of the Norse scribblings on it, and I know I said I wrote down in your character sheet when we first throw it up, English, Latin, Ancient Greek, Dutch, and Portuguese, but random and maybe make it Norse. Does that work for you?
Seems,
okay, good.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem likely that you'd come all this way and not speak Norse, but we rolled the character up before I actually came up with the scenario. So we'll just go Portuguese or Dutch. What do you want to lose there?
I'll lose the Dutch.
Okay, no Dutch, Norse.
My God.
This my God, does this seem?
I don't know. Sorry, I wanted to contribute something.
Oh, don't.
We can just assume that whoever wrote this story just didn't know the difference between Norse and Dutch, and so it's like, you find this great Norse, goblets with like free all over it.
But we go to the library and research for 17 hours.
That works too. But again, it's pulp, so it's a little more. It's a little quicker. Find the answer. Much quicker than that. No, this map is clearly has been carved in such a manner. This bone has been carved in such a manner that if you place this bone over a map of a coastline, then this long section of bone that's been carved out with a circle in it would show you however many miles or leagues or whatever it is that the Norse used to scale their distance, would show you the location of Jotunheim, apparently an island somewhere above the Arctic Circle, perhaps, depending on where this actual coastline you're looking at is. The bone does give things on it like distance, written in Norse numerals and things like that. But the coastline itself is just carved into the bone in kind of a reverse relief, like what would be land would be carved away, and what would be sea if you put it over a map would be the bone. Does that make sense?
I think so,
the,
yeah.
you know,
So it's like
yeah.
the ocean shape is the bone, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then the circle cut through the bone shows you where the final location, where the location of Jotunheim would be if you were to be able to get down there.
All right.
Or up there, as the case may be, since up is north. So anyways, that's how you have found the artifact. It again, it's a lovely piece of bone. What would you like to do with it?
I'm going to brandish it and show the others. I found the map! Jotunheim appears to be an island. No wonder it's eluded us for so long.
Ooh, how Atlantean.
Atlantis
You're all ever going to regret saying that. Anyways, no foreshadowing. Now it's time to exfiltrate. Get yourselves out of this place. How are we going to do that? Just what's the plan?
Is there a reverse larceny?
There is, in fact. There is more larceny if you don't want to go out the way you came in. If you wish to reverse your course and go out the way you came in, there's just, de-Watergate in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Just go back the way you came.
I don't think so. I was promised canapes for this fancy party, and I want to go right up there and see what they got.
Well, I guess we're going where the canapes are.
I want to know where there's hors d'oeuvres are.
All right, the hors d'oeuvres are indeed upstairs. And having snuck in through the back of the party, you did not get to have any canapes or hors d'oeuvres.
That's bullshit. I want some Blaney's. Mini
With any luck, they're not serving like Lutgefisk, Instead, that would be just like, ugh. But all right. It's like an hors d'oeuvre, but it's made with Lutgefisk.
I know is serious about this. Like, she's not messing around about wanting snacks.
All right. Then you reverse direction and head out the way you came.
I'm just gonna follow my nose.
So let's see here. Lehman.
Yes.
Give me let's check out your larceny is 6, I think
6.
it was.
Yep.
Yeah, with a specialty in sleight of hand.
That's right. A bit of leisure demand for the ladies at home.
Which undoubtedly you were doing card tricks earlier. Let's see here. You are making your way upstairs. Give me a larceny roll, please. Tell me how many successes you get.
All right. Ooh. So say I got a bunch of 6s. That doesn't matter in this game. I got 4.
Oh, no.
Okay, 4 successes is still counts. All right, you managed to, on the way out, relock all the doors on the way out. So
clickety-click.
As you close the safe, spin the wheel, and begin removing yourself in good order out of this location. Miss Carruthers, one other thing. Let's see here. Give me a roll on your academics, please.
Right, that is a 7. Ooh. 3 successes.
3 successes. All right. And Mr. Lehman, give me a roll on, let's see, let's try, you have a skill of 5 in solving enigmas.
Ooh.
Give me a roll of 5 dice, please.
Oh, brother, that's a 2.
Okay. All right.
I remain enigmatized.
The strange thing that you can't, neither one of you can quite get out of your, get off your minds is that the that strange design in the vault. Again, it did not seem, it was not in any way Norse, at least.
With that Illuminati bullshit from before, is that what you're saying?
Yes, clearly the Illuminati bullshit from before.
Okay.
It's not Norse. It does bear a slight resemblance to the seal of the United States.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that, the Masons are a thing in 1936. You probably thought, well, it's kind of like a Mason thing, but not.
Fantasy Mason.
Perhaps, yeah. Perhaps this Kirkendall person isn't in this alone. Perhaps he is part of a larger organization that you have yet to discover.
Maybe.
Now, you you guys appear up on the ground floor of this palatial palace, and the big dining room ballroom has been tricked out in an attempt to make it look like a enormous hall a la Valhalla. Boy, I just said that, didn't I?
That's okay. It's still like an Avengers episode, but like with weird Americans in it. So I'm super
There's always weird Americans.
Yeah. An eccentric millionaire has a theme party and lures people there for strange purposes.
Scott, I'd like to activate my flaw if I could.
Yes.
As a hedonist, I prioritize pleasure over work, and there's nothing more pleasurable than drinking one's host's booze out of his own pilfer drinking apparatus. So, pulling out my Viking horn, I will pour a little bit of. I will request the waiter pour a bit of bubbly into that, and just toast everyone's good health.
Now, there are in fact plenty of drinking horns on the floor. I mean, they've been handed out to the guests, and everybody's got a drinking horn. And there are, in fact, plates of horsivores that go flying by.
Is there that like rotted horse that you bury for a year and then it's supposed to be good or whatever that is?
Yeah, it's a Viking thing. It's like
it is a thing. You bury a horse for a year and then you eat it. It's a delicacy.
It's a Viking kimchi. It's kind of like that.
I think this is the thing. It's like kimchi, but a horse.
Viking kimchi was my 1980s proto ska band.
Well, you said you learned something new. Now I've learned something new. I've learned about something I never want to put in my mouth under any circumstances.
I think it's
I do not doubt. It sounds like eating grave goods.
I don't know, man. I heard it once. I thought
I've heard about that with walrus and like the Arctic
Circle. I
can
believe walrus.
I don't know. Totally I might not know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just being problematic. I apologize.
We don't have horse
for you.
Pause the game, everyone. We need to fact check this.
We need to know. All right.
This is important journalism that we are providing for the people.
All right. So you are now go ahead, give yourself a style point there. You are now drinking with in the host's room with the pilfered drinking vessel right
That's how you do.
Of his private lodge stock. Okay. Let's see here. Are you taking? We'll just leave it at that. Okay. At some point, you of course, yes, Molly.
I'm going to also activate my flaw because my flaw is thrill seeker. So I +1 style for taking unnecessary risks for fun. And I honestly feel like crashing this party for no reason qualifies.
I'm going to go ahead and give that one to you as well on the ground that, yes, sneaking out quietly a back door was the right answer. This is the wrong answer. Yeah. Absolutely the wrong answer.
You invited me.
This is the kind of thing that would have made you yell at the screen in a theater going, no, you're home free. You got the thing.
Well, okay, no. Did a woman suggest it? Because if it was a woman who suggested it, I'd be much more forgiving. I'm just going to say it right here in front of God and everyone. Like, I'd be like, yeah, get it, girl. Get those orders. That's what's
This is self-care.
Yeah, you do you.
This is pulp sheet cake.
Yeah, I want to lasso a waiter.
Oh my gosh!
I imagine that there is probably rope somewhere under your duster. You're undoubtedly not nearly as well dressed as everybody else.
No, I'm definitely wearing creepy Old West clothes.
Yeah, well, I'm imagining because you guys drove up here on a Wells Fargo carriage, you were wearing one of those crazy buffalo skin coats. It was just gigantic.
And right? Like a really noticeable and distinctive hat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's
like at least 5, like, no, let's say there's like at least 2 ratty feathers that are large. And I also probably smell.
Well, that's a given after you've been skulking
Child
around.
stars
this
burn out. When they
mansion.
burn out hard. And here we all are.
Are you the Dana Plato of the silent era? Is that what
I
we've
don't
got
know who
going
that
on
is,
here?
so I can't answer. I'm sorry. We'll look it up later with the horse burials.
You're gonna get a lot. You're
It'll
gonna
be
have
in the show notes. That's something I hear. It'll be in the show notes.
start writing that stuff down. It's gonna
Sorry.
go to be a
Okay.
long list.
I will.
All right. At some point, having lassoed a waiter, and I will point out that the waiters are all these young women dressed in these absolutely ridiculous 1930s sort of Art Deco Valkyrie outfits, including wings that look like they could be pasted on the back of Voltan in like the in the
Like Sandal Bergman at the end
Gordon
of
era.
Conan when she comes back?
Yes, it's
okay,
a lot
like
like
Blair.
that.
Those are
Okay.
historically inaccurate, I'm afraid.
Great.
Yeah,
Super
the
duper.
wing. Yeah. Very good. I'm glad you. Yes, absolutely, Sandal Bergman. Although none of them have a nose as cool as Sandal Bergman.
That's what's up.
Nose. Holy shit, that was a great nose.
I agree. I agree.
You're gonna have somebody who's a warrior character. They should have some bent bits. They should have some broken bits. That's all there is to it. Anyways, you are now got a champagne glass and a champagne horn or mead horn in one hand, and a fist, one presumes, full of multiple canapes and things that have sort of been crushed together as you've collected them off the plates.
Right.
And you suddenly find yourself face to face with this bear that appears to have accidentally wandered into the party. About 6'4", probably somewhere in the range of maybe 400 pounds of guy with a huge long beard and sort of very short cropped hair on top and sort of cheeks that clearly have on the Santa Claus side of alcoholism. And they're a little bit got a little bit of that blown capillaries in them. He's dressed in something that's somewhere between an Odin costume and actually kind of Voltan out of Flash Gordon. Anyways, he suddenly sort of miraculously appears out of the crowd in front of you and says something to the effect of like, my goodness, I don't remember inviting you to this party.
Wait, to me?
Who are you? Yeah,
wait, yeah.
To you, Molly.
No.
Who's wandering around
I'm
this
Catastrophe
party
now. I thought you invited me to this here hootenanny shindig. I'm just going to try to lasso some more of these canapes. I can do some tricks on my horse later if you want.
He laughs out loud in, again, a very Brian Blessed sort of way.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and cast this, all right?
I heard you
Fucking
were
Brian
having
Blessed.
a good party, and I knew you would want the brightest and the most beautiful people here, so I just invited myself.
She says, he says, horse tricks, eh? Well, we don't have enough room in the ballroom for a horse at the moment. What else can you do?
I can shoot real good.
He says, really? He says, all right then. And as a waiter goes by, he snatches a champagne bottle off the thing of the plate and says, can you shoot this out of the air?
What air? Right here, right now? Of course I can shoot. I can shoot it.
He just throws it up while your hands he just throws it up while your pistols are still in their holsters.
Okay, well, I quick draw and do cool things.
All right, you do in fact have the skill.
I read the character sheet. Quick draw. Draw a weapon as reflex action or 1 turn quicker. But
all right. Then here's what you do next.
Okay.
You whip out the Colt Peacemaker. You get to fire the same round. You'd actually get the chance that you're going to get 2 chances to hit it, one on the way up, one on the way down.
Oh, yeah.
Because you quick draw it. Otherwise, you just get 1 shot.
Cool.
Yes, Molly. You have a finger up.
Well, yes, me. No. I was just waiting with my fake guns. Sorry.
Okay. How this works is you go down to the weapon, you look up the damage the weapon does, the modifier, which is your skill, and your total attack is 12. So you need to roll 7 to be able to get this out of the air, as it is a smaller than human-sized object, which makes it harder to hit. And it is moving relatively fast.
But I get 12 dice?
You get 12 dice to get that 7.
You get 7? Oh man, I only have 11. Okay, I can do this. This is the ASMR portion.
We will accept rerolls. Do not worry.
Successes are evens. Oh, that's not great. Right. I get it.
You do? You get 7 successes?
I do.
All right. Boom. The bottle explodes. Champagne pours down over the top of you. The guy laughs uproariously.
Yeah.
I try to catch him in my horn.
You get broken
glass shards
in your horn. That's great. This guy laughs again. Is absolutely delighted by this. Everyone roll perception, please.
This guy's important. What is my perception?
It's right up there under secondary attributes near the top of your page.
Oh, got it.
It's above your skills.
I'm picking glass shards out, so I got a 1.
I got a 2, so that's not great.
Okay. How about you there, Edith Carruthers?
I got 3.
All right.
I've been watching to make sure that no glass falls on me. So
yeah.
Well, what you notice is there are a number of gentlemen stationed around the room, dressed in what would be considered rather subdued clothing for this event. They're wearing black tuxedos with black ties, with some fairly obvious bulges under their jackets. And when Catastrophe Nell whipped out her pistol, all of them just basically, like, everybody reached into their jacket and, like they were about to leap, and then she shot the thing out of the air, and they were, before they could even clear, as they say, before any of them could clear leather, that bottle's already exploded.
Yeah.
And they hold off for a second, but they're all sort of standing there with their guns and their holding their weapons. But once this big guy starts laughing, ha ha ha, this is so marvelous and amusing, everybody relaxes and sort of takes their hands out from under their jackets. He announces, well, Miss Nell, you're a joy, Miss Nell, an absolute joy. Have you ever thought of taking on a job in private security?
Hell no! Why would I do that? The open plains all I want. Give me a horse and a bottle of whiskey, and we'll just ride until sunset.
Yes, that sounds splendid. My name is Thorsten Kirkendall, and I am...
Oh, it's your shindig. This is your party.
Why, yes, it is, and he seems quite taken with you. So he throws a paw, I guess, around your shoulders and steers you over to the, please help yourself to. We have meat. We have some sort of, I don't know, probably pig or something that's going on a spit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to point out that's indoors, but
just Beowulf thing.
Yeah, it's all very Beowulf in here. The only thing that's missing is Grendel at this point.
Yeah.
But give it a minute. He seems absolutely thrilled with you. You're most amusing, and he's like,
I will root and toot them.
All right, you root and toot. Let's see here.
I'm creating a distraction so my friends can escape. That's not true. I'm just being a child.
Hey, I appreciate the justifying.
Yeah.
All right. Give me 2 rolls. One, give me a roll on your empathy roll, which I believe is a 2. It's not the best.
Empathy?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Rating 2, average 1. Okay. Oh. No.
No successes.
1 success.
All right. Also, give me a roll on performance, because in fact you are kind of performing here.
That is true. That's fine. Oh, I get
You are both rooting and tooting.
I am. Both of these things. That I get 2 successes on.
All right. you're doing a pretty good job of being the character you have created here. But again, this guy is sort of trying to monopolize your attention, and is at some point is like, may I see that fine shooting iron that you have there?
I'll like hesitate and like give him the like once over like theatrically, and then I'll hold it in my hand and see if he takes it out of it. But he'll have to take it out of my hand.
All right. He does. Let's see here. He takes it and aims down the barrel, causing various guests to leap out of the way as he swings the gun around, sort of at everyone. And there's a lot of "whoa!" and he sort of laughs at everything.
Whoa.
Jumps out of the way.
Dick Cheney and a fender.
Spins it around in his hand and hands it back to you butt first and says, "It's a fine weapon, hardly improved on since the days of the Wild West." Let's see here. All right, Lehman.
Yes.
I need you to give me a perception roll, please, whilst all this is going on.
Okay. 2.
Okay. And let's see. Let's go ahead and give one also for Edith and for Nell.
Yeah, while this has been going on, I have been sort of trying to figure out like when we can do the sort of either Irish exit or just sort of like swoop and go.
What?
What would you define as an Irish exit? Is that
I'm sorry.
Is that where you get thrown through the plate glass window at the front of the bar?
No, it's the exact opposite. It's where you just like ghost a party and like everyone's like, "Hey, where did they go?" And you've just gone.
Wow.
I've never heard that before.
Oh snap!
Nope.
I got 5 out of 5 successes.
Dang.
dang.
Okay.
I got 3, so Molly wins.
Thanks for lending me your psychic powers for one moment.
Well, what Molly notices is that there is a rather razor thin gentleman with a pair of very small glasses, wearing again dressed in a tuxedo, who is wearing a pair of really tight little spectacles and an expression that sort of makes one think that he doesn't go out. Well, no, just that he doesn't go out in the daylight much.
Okay.
He seems a bit pinched, as it were.
Sure.
The kind of person who worries about ones and zeros and which columns the numbers are written in and that sort of thing.
Got it.
He apparently, you catch him whispering to some of the larger gentlemen in their plain and calm and quiet tuxedos, and they have started to move, and he's even sort of unfortunately like nodded his head in the direction of Lehman Kessler, which is what you get when you get 5 successes. You get all this information. And these guys appear to be moving in Lehman's direction as Lehman rather garishly brandishes his actual stolen object that hasn't even
Glug glug glug.
So yeah, he's probably on horn 2 at this point. But you can see that they are starting to move in on him, and he does not appear to have any idea that they are closing in on him from the before and behind.
Who wants to pick a card? You look like you like to pick a card.
No.
Who wants to pick a card?
Who's feeling lucky? Everybody's a winner. You start a 3-card Monty game, right?
No.
At the bar.
I'm gonna lasso him.
All right, you can do that. As you're talking to
do I have to roll? Is this just a game of being awesome?
No. This is where lasso roll comes under, I believe, your athletic skill is what that comes under.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not completely mistaken.
I buy it. Do I
lariat. There it is. It's under the weapon lariat because you've got a peacemaker, a Bowie knife,
Oh,
and a
I see
lariat.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. So I get to
So-
roll 6 dice.
That is correct. And this is what they call a touch attack, which means defense doesn't come into it. You just have to touch him. All right. So go ahead and roll, please.
I get 4 successes.
Okay.
Yoink.
Now, unfortunately, one of Lehman's better abilities, psychic abilities, is his precognitive defense, which allows him to dodge attacks that he does not even see coming. So, Lehman, you will actually get to roll some defense here.
Oh, dang. Even if I don't want to?
What you need to, yes, even if you don't want to, you will.
So I'm rolling out perception. I assume it's just perception, not the full. Yeah.
Yeah. So just roll your perception.
Oh, that's a 4.
So it's equal. You both rolled 4.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So rather than say throw the lariat around, Liam is coming, and while looking the wrong way, and snaps a hand out and grabs a hold of the rope. Rather than have it land on him and go around his shoulders or whatever, and is sort of startled by this sudden intrusion into the card picking thing he was about to do. So now you have a horn in one hand and a rope in the other.
This is my kind of party.
There's a whoa from the crowd, and Kirkendall goes, ah, ha, 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 ha. That's my horn, he bellows, suddenly pointing down the length of the lariat right down at Lehman, who's still brandishing the stolen object. Get that thief! What's the plan now?
I think it's to do some Scooby Gang. Just feet up in the air.
Okay, it's now time to run for it. Okay, that's cool.
Can I explode the cards in the faces of our interlocutors?
Yes, you can. Go ahead and make me another perception roll, please. It's a much lower success threshold. So
2.
2. Yeah, you see the two guys sneaking up behind you. You can, in fact, blow the card of using your sleight of hand for your defense, because they are charging to attack you and tackle you.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and let's see, where's these cookie cutter thugs come charging at you, being all far more muscly and brawly than you are, which is okay. And 4. All right.
Do I add the sleight of hand to my defense stat?
Yes,
or do I
go ahead and add the sleight of hand to your defense stat.
Great. Excellent. That's much happier. All right, so blue 1. 4.
Okay. Plus your defense, or is that total?
That's everything.
Okay. The cards go in these guys' faces. Nobody got more than like 3 successes in their attempt to tackle you. So there's essentially sort of a convergence of guys in monkey suits, and you squirt out of the middle of that, an explosion of cards that go all over the floor. What are the rest of you doing, Molly? He's dropped the lariat.
I'll tuck it back.
Okay.
And I'll talk to Richard Branson, whatever this guy's name is. Like
Richard Branson.
Okay.
Kirkendall.
Yeah, Bear Man. And I'll be like, pretty good party you got here, but I got a skidoo. And
well, he's completely ignoring you because he's charging off after Lehman. You stopped existing the moment one of his trinkets was being apprehended. So he just roars off in another direction.
Oh, well, I guess I'll shout, well, stop thief! And I'll like head for that area.
Okay. All right. All right then. What's Edith up to at this point? Now that
Nobody has any idea that I'm with these people at this point.
No.
So
You're a complete innocent.
I'm a complete innocent. I'm going in the direction of an exit to do an Irish exit, I guess, is what we're calling that. But I'm keeping an eye on how things are going with Gentleman John. I'm kind of like reaching for my long arm. I'm ready to kind of fire a shot to distract everybody so that they kind of jump and look around and he can run away if I have to. But if I don't have to, then I'm just
paying attention. Nobody's paying attention to you yet. There is a physical comedy sequence, developing, and you are currently not.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Mr. Kessler, let's see here. Give me an athletics roll, please.
Oh, okay.
How drunk are you?
I mean, drunk enough. Oh, that's not bad. 3.
All right. And wow, 1, 2. Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll on your precognitive defense. Somebody finally made a roll good enough to overcome just your dodging and weaving.
Ooh.
Let's see if you roll enough to overcome his attack.
Just 2 extra.
Okay, that's all you needed. He had you
you
rolled a 3 plus 2 is 5. He had a 4.
Oh, great.
So you were able. Various guys are leaping at you and trying to stop you from getting out of the party. Nobody's pulled their gun and opened fire in a crowd of guests yet. So there's, I mean,
whoever in the win column.
Yeah. But you're going to be able to exit the hall. In fact, go ahead and give me another athletics roll, please.
Yep. 3.
All right. You are able to barge out the door before the 2 servants, rather than bodyguards, try and close the door on the hall and zip out. And there's sort of a moment where the bodyguards crash into the door and fling it open, flinging Valkyries into the main hallway.
Lovely party, ghosts are real.
You come out into what is this sort of big entrance hall area with this black and white checkerboard sort of stone floor and a big entrance foyer, standing in front of which are a couple of thuggish looking gentlemen with firearms out.
Aww.
Uh-oh.
And thank goodness Kirkendall sent me to find you. There's some lunatics stealing things in there.
Nice. And they don't look. Let's go ahead and check. Let's see. Wait a minute. You've got some bullshit skills here. Let's just see what we've got. Diplomacy, empathy, firearms,
con.
You do have con. You do in fact have con. Go ahead and give me a roll on your con skill.
That's 4.
All right. Let me see what happens with their rolling against their intelligence, which I'll admit is not much. 0. That guy seems to think it's okay. 2. That guy is like, oh, really? And the first guy tries to go, oh, really? And the guy's like, what are you talking about?
No.
He's clearly the thief. What are you talking about?
No, it's
He's
true.
like,
I saw it. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. There was a villain in there, and he's just stealing things. You got to go check it out.
That's corroboration.
Yeah, you're behind the crowd. You're still in the where? Let's get a direction on you. Are you following him out?
Yes.
Are you, Molly Tanzer, following him out? I got the impression that Rachel was going to sort of like look for. Well, this appears to be a door to the patio that's open.
Yes, and so
yeah,
I'm
okay, you're going
sidling after him.
Okay.
Oh, is this the way to the ladies?
Yeah. Okay. Let me just okay, cool. Let's you're going out that door. Rachel, give me a perception roll as you find, and there are big glass, and doorways that you can go in and out of this room through. That's not a problem.
6.
Okay.
Oh, dang.
Interesting. All right, let me just roll. Uh-huh. Okay. You come out onto this big snow-covered patio, right? And big stone patio. There's no chairs or anything out here right now. It's just the winter or whatever. But normally this would be a place for people to hang out and look down at the lake that's on the property, which is now a frozen lake. And you see down at the end of the patio is a guy, in a heavy black coat with a kind of a fur hat, who's walking along, smoking a cigarette, or is up against the edge of the wall of the patio, smoking a cigarette. He doesn't particularly take any great notice of you when you come out onto the patio, but except to kind of look over. He hears the sound, looks over, and he's looking over at you. Some guy in a white parka pops up from behind the wall, puts a garrote around his throat, and jerks him over the wall.
Okay. How high up is the patio up? Is it like a raised balcony kind of thing?
No, no, it's not. It's maybe like 3 steps down to the ground once you get off the patio. Yeah.
Okay.
That wall's maybe 4 to 5 feet tall or something like that. It's maybe 2 to 3 feet taller than the ground. So that guy came up like he jumped.
Shocking.
I am going to run over there to see what's going on, because this seems like an Orange investigation.
All right. If only you had taken Curious, you would totally get a style point.
I know, right?
All right, I'll leave you to that. All right, Molly, which direction are you taking out of the hall?
I'm going to stick with whatever Lehman's name is.
Gentleman John.
Gentleman John.
Yes. All right, perhaps there to provide cover, distractions. If ever there was a time to shoot a chandelier off the ceiling,
yeah. That's a really good idea.
This is probably you got to think pulp, kids. You got to think pulp.
I've been trying.
Somewhere there's going to be a suit of armor that you can push down a flight of stairs. Just keep that sort of thing in mind.
I mean, if it was Viking armor, that seems legitimate. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll find his collection of ancient marbles
and hold them hostage.
And push them.
Nobody move with the bust
so that the glass shatters and then marbles go everywhere. That's what I'll do.
All right. But you're going to try and get out. You're going to, clearly, I think they're stoned.
They were recovered from an important grave.
Yes. The archaeologist in me weeps.
They're amazing.
Yeah, but it's par for the course for every archaeology adventure I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All right, you come out into the hallway, and yes, in fact, there are things in the hall that are, glass cases of things that he's got out in the front hallway to show off his archaeological trinkets, at least the ones that aren't connected to Jotunheim. But Lehman is now found at gunpoint. And these two guys, the one guy backs into the door and slams it shut with his butt, and the other guy's pointing his gun at you, and they're both sort of. Kirkendall comes bursting out of the hallway, with Molly not far behind, saying, you thief, what do you think you're doing? And, like, how dare you? And words to that effect. He's very blessed. Outrageous, sir! Outrageous!
This is all part of the show. You hired a professional.
That is true. You were hired as a professional psychic and magician. And he's like, show? What do you mean, man? That comes from my vault. What were you doing in the vault?
I was doing nothing in the vault, but the spirits of this house produced this for me to show just how psychically charged this dwelling has become.
Go ahead and roll con.
Roll con till the cows come home. Ooh, they may be coming home. That's 2.
Yeah.
I got cards and bullshit, so I'm all out of cards.
And this may be it for the bullshit.
I'll be like, it was true. Just like from the back. Like it was all true. I saw it. The spookiest damn thing I never saw.
All right. Let me go ahead and have you roll. Let's see here. Con is, I think, intelligence. That's right. Molly, give me 2 dice.
For charisma?
All right.
To oppose it.
Yeah. Actually, give me give me Molly, give me 1 die. I believe the thing for using skills that you don't have is you take the stat it's based on and subtract 2. You got a charisma of 3. Roll me 1 die.
That is a fail.
All right. Kirkendall turns around and gives you a rather stormy look and says, this is that one. She's working with him. And the bodyguards that have their guns out start to point them at you.
I'm not sure he'd agree with that right now.
He says he tells the guard, take these 2 away and put them in the in a store put them in the larder until we can call the police.
Put us in that vault.
Shh, we haven't been in the vault.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What else? Search them. So the guards are going to attempt to search you. How much are you going to resist this?
All I've got is my.
There's at least 6 or 7 guys. There's like, 8 guys with firearms right now,
and no guests to deter them.
Yeah, at this point you're all standing around in the outer this outer room here. Yeah, they might shoot some artifacts, but their biggest danger maybe is shooting each other because there's so many of them and not so many of you. How much trouble do you want to give these guys if they start searching? Because they're probably going to relieve you of that shooting iron if they find it.
My gun?
Yeah.
Fuck these people. They're not taking that. I'll kick them in the nards before I let that happen.
All right. Well,
there's your fucking answer right there. They can eat my farts. I hate these guys.
All right. When they start to reach for you and to reach for your firearm, do you just do a fast draw and put it in somebody's mouth, knock a tooth out, or what do you do?
Yeah, I'll pistol whip the first Mookie tries to lay his hand on me.
All right, give me a. I'm going to go ahead and say you can make the fast draw means you can get the gun out fast enough to do that. Give me a roll under your melee combat, which I believe is a 6.
Okay.
And we will call this attack a 1 non-lethal. There's 2 types of damage in the game: lethal and non-lethal. Non-lethal, even getting a beating can become lethal, but
that's definitely
okay. So let's go ahead and say you got 7 dice on this guy. Give me a roll.
That is only 2 successes.
Okay, let's see how this guy can
Which
dodge
is
it.
not great.
Wow, he rolled a 1.
Yeah, that's
you smack him in the face with the barrel of your Colt. Whap! It comes out very fast.
Yeah.
The response on everyone else is to sort of cock their pistols and go, whoa, 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 put the gun down, put the gun down. But the other guys, and the guy you hit is all like, he seems more like, oh man, really? Like, almost sort of sadly disappointed in you as opposed to, angry at the moment. That was not at all what he expected to have happen. Having manhandled any number of people before, getting smashed in the nose really wasn't what he was expecting to happen next. But you now have everybody's attention at this point. Now, Rachel.
Yes.
That is to say, Edith, you're going to go over there. Are you going to attempt to stealthily go over there?
I will, because
right.
Who knows what else this guy has up his sleeve.
All right, so you have a stealth rating of 5, I believe. Go ahead and give me a roll.
2.
All right. Wow. I'm gonna stop rolling those dice. This is okay. Or maybe I should. Well, I'll stick with it. We want the players to succeed. Anyways, you come over to the edge of the wall there. Let's see here. Wow. And you look down over the edge of the wall, and you can see where the place is that you should go to because all the snow's been knocked off of that part of the wall. Obviously, as the guy was pulled backwards over it. And beneath the wall, you see 3 gentlemen in parkas. One of them's holding the guy's legs. The other guy is holding his arms, and the third guy is strangled the guy apparently into unconsciousness, and snap! They turn his head until his neck breaks.
Oh my gosh.
They're all wearing these white parkas covered with white web gear, which is the harnesses that the military wears. They've got these machine guns the machine guns are wrapped in something that looks like a white tape around the wooden stocks and around the sort of the gray metal parts of it to break up its silhouette and give it a more they're also all wearing like balaclavas, white balaclavas that are pulled down over their faces, so they're just little eye holes and mouth holes and steam coming out. And they just did their job, and now they're just they sort of pushing him under the bushes there, the hedge at the edge of the wall. What are you? They have not noticed you yet. What are you going to do?
All right. Well, they've already killed the guy, so trying to stop them seems like a moot point. But I am going to I'm going to creep closer, see if I can like overhear what they're talking about, if they are talking, because I want to see what it is that's going on here and why it is that they killed this guy. So okay, if there's any discussion happening. Right.
Now the wall is like a stone railing with stone pillars in it, so it's not a solid wall at this level. It's like a railing, and so you go ahead and make me a perception roll.
My dice ran away. 5.
Okay, you overhear them. Go ahead and give me a roll under, let's go under intelligence, please. You got a 4 intelligence, so just give me a roll under that.
3.
Okay. You do not speak this language, but you sure as hell can recognize German when you hear it. And the gentlemen are definitely saying the appropriately, the kind of German you hear in World War II movies, like, Schnell, whatever.
Yeah. That kind, like Wolfenstein German.
Yes, they say things like "Wo ist Jones" and
yes,
"Was ist das" and things like that. But they do not go over the top of the wall. They kind of peel out of the bushes and start going down to where the stairs down to the ground level are, which is only a few, maybe 60 feet away. They're going to go and just go up the stairs and apparently into the hall. I mean, that's the next stop if they were to go through that door there.
Okay, I am going to start following after them because the last thing we need is for them to start shooting up this party. So
okay, if they come up onto the patio is devoid of stuff. There's nothing out here. You will not have anything to hide behind. The best place for you to hide might be to jump over the frickin' wall where into the space they just evacuated. Otherwise, you'd have to run back into the building or down to the other end of the patio and go down behind the wall over there. But this patio doesn't have anything in it.
I will jump over the frickin' wall, actually, because that's also an excuse to pull out the body and look at it and see if there's anything, like any clues there. So.
Okay, great. Give me an athletics roll, please.
Athletics, there it is.
Actually, you can take the average on this and jump over the wall. I just checked. Okay, you land on the ground. The first thing that becomes obvious is, boy, is this guy dead. His head is absolutely not attached in any way that anyone's head should be attached. That's the first thing. Second,
a very good clue.
Yeah, that is a very good clue. The second clue is that besides the smoldering cigarette laying in the snow, the other thing he had on around his shoulders, over his shoulder, which you couldn't see from the angle where he was jerked over the wall, was he has a Tommy gun, which is your classic 1920s, 1930s submachine gun with a pistol grip in the front and a pistol grip in the back. Sadly, it does not have the big crazy drum magazine. So popular. All right, the level of disappointment tells me he has a drum magazine. He just doesn't have.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not topping from below.
No. I'll tell you what. Not topping from the bottom. Yeah, but no. What I'm saying is that it's cold. To get another magazine out would be very much trouble because they'd have to be like in a pocket in his clothing.
Yeah.
It makes sense that he just have a big 50-round drum and no other ammunition on him.
Yeah.
For a Tommy gun. I mean, who's going to shoot 50 rounds in one night? I mean, besides player characters.
Fair.
All right, so we'll go with it. Yes, it does in fact have the classic drum. You have now in possession of a Chicago typewriter and a corpse.
Well, yes, I was planning on stealing the gun from the corpse.
And yeah, if you go inside his jacket, he's got a 1911 45 automatic in there somewhere. If you want to stick that in your somewhere in the dress, in the cleavage, or in the hat band, the headband, the flapper headband, or whatever, wherever it goes. Let's go back out in the hallway as we jump back and forth between the action.
Can all be reasonable.
Yeah, you're in the all be reasonable department. Okay, I think Calamity is past reasonable. We're just not taking
to not want some stranger to touch your gun.
You're not going to turn into Pistol Pete from
I'm
the Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
I'm just putting forth the academic argument that I'm correct.
Okay, they done touch Pete's piece.
Believe I have been perforated.
Yeah.
So there's a moment where, again, I guess Liam's like, hey, Gentleman John's let's all be reasonable about this and not have a firefight in a tiny enclosed space. And Kirkendall says, there's no way you can get off the estate. I have guards everywhere. I know your name, Gentleman John. You'll be wanted in every state in the Union.
He already is.
Oh, he's committed crimes in every state in the Union. He just hasn't been caught or been identified. What are you thinking about doing and or saying there, Mr. Lehman?
So yeah, this has been mostly trying to do kind of crowd work, a little damage control. Like, I don't think I'm going to take it. I do, I believe in the abilities of Calamity.
Are you handing it back to someone like, why don't you take it?
Well, it's the question. It's the question of, dude, is this yours? Oh, sorry. Someone handed it to me. Yes. Just try to sort of, just, hey guys, let's relax. Right. Just don't spill the beverage, man. Just.
Are you making calm down motions with your hands?
There's a lot of calm down. There's a lot of just like, hey, it's classic misdirection.
I really feel like I should have paid more attention before this game began because, like, I'm sad I'm not drinking mead while we're playing it, but like that's actually probably for everyone's benefit. So,
all right,
would have added a layer of LARPing to the whole endeavor.
Yeah, why not? It's already kind of like an SCA event, but like writ large. So, like, let's make it real.
How much gunplay is there at the average SCA event?
I guess not the guns. I was thinking the like sweaty guys in a meat hall.
Yeah.
Well,
the historical inaccuracy is very SCA.
Kirkendall, grabs his mead thing away from one of his goons, and tells the goon, get down to the vault, make sure nothing else is missing. And he says,
"Oh, I can tell you one thing that's missing right here." And I'll like reach into my jacket and I'll bring out like a small, miniature, like exquisite golden horse statuette, and I'll just like hand it right over.
Oh my God!
I didn't think it was all that important.
He makes noises like a bull. There could actually be steam coming out of his nostrils. He says, he snatches that back too, and he's kind of holding his two objects, close to his chest. He says, if nothing else is missing from my vault, I could possibly see my way towards not involving the police. However, you will have to explain to me how you got into my vault. That is supposed to be the most secure part of my estate. And
a magician never reveals his methods. It's part of the code.
He gives you a look of death, I think is the right way to put it. The whiskers bristle angrily around his looking a lot like one of those guys who was always picking on Charlie Chaplin. There's always some big fat guy with a beard who's knocking Charlie Chaplin down. He looks like he could hit you with the gold horse, but
how much damage does the gold horse do?
Or possibly the mead horn. But he says something to the effect of, he says, "This is one time, gentleman John. You will be revealing your tricks, or you will answer to the, New York State Police."
Look. We're all just having a little bit too much fun. Grabbing a.
Now, I will note that you're one goon down.
Yeah.
You're now up to 7 goons. 1 goon's left the room.
Yep.
Just letting you know. And as far as the room goes, there are 4 exits. There's the front door back into the hall. 2 exits deeper into the house, and there's a staircase up to the 2nd floor.
I want to assume that just as the party is gone, there's there's sort of those kind of little tables that have like the left behind plates with bits of canapé and like half drunk flutes and things like that.
Are you kidding? This place is that stuff doesn't get to be on the table for more than 3 seconds before it's picked up. However, having suggested it, clearly someone hasn't gotten to that plate yet. So I'm going to let you
I'm assuming there's sort of just a half to a third of a champagne flute, probably like mostly like backwash, but still Gentleman Johnson's going to sort of take it, do a little like chin chin with Kirkendall, just be like, you know what, let's just take a quick drink and then we can resume the negotiations here. Take my drink with my sort of gross liquid and doing that sort of calm patter, encourage him to take a drink of the mead horn, which still has bits of broken glass in it.
Go. Oh dear. Ding.
Whoa.
Let's see here. Go ahead and give me a con roll.
All right.
You're quite good at it.
Ooh, 4.
All right, let's try his versus his.
Can I throw some style into this? Is this a place where style can come into play?
You might want to throw some style into it.
All right.
Let's.
You're like Leonardo DiCaprio in that one GIF. You're just like, yeah.
Hold on just a second. Hold on.
There's fireworks behind you.
You rolled how much?
4 is where I'm at right now.
Okay, give me. If you're gonna throw another style point in, do it now.
Yep, I'm doing it now.
And did you succeed?
Oh, sorry. What does throwing in style allow me to do?
Oh, roll an extra die.
Roll one extra die.
One more die.
Oh, of course not. Okay, no. So
you want to burn another one? Do you want to?
This is like my one thing, and we don't have much game left, so sure. Yeah.
Have we been earning those?
Come on,
Sonic rings.
Oh.
You started off with 2. Everyone at this table has earned at least 1.
Oh.
Molly earned 1.
Yeah. So I'm
right-
back down to one. If I can burn my last one, I'll take it. I feel like this is
burn
just
your last one.
Come on,
Go
friend.
ahead.
There we go. Okay.
Yay!
5.
All right, well, that's good because you needed it. He wasn't going to go for it. He had 4 successes to your 4, and it would ties go to the winner. So,
Oh.
you drink, he drinks. His reaction: he drinks, swallows, and then begins violently gagging, and blood shoots out of his mouth. Everybody jumps. What do you do with this moment of surprise?
I will grab Calamity and try to bolt for an exit. Actually, he said
Okay.
the doors are all closed, but the upstairs is not.
Yeah, no, it is not.
So there we go.
No, it is not.
Obvious
All right,
exits are up.
upstairs. Okay. You charge back upstairs. Everyone, there's a moment where all the guards turn their attention to Kirkendall and his gagging, take an eye off the ball, and boom, you guys can go flying up the stairs. All right. Edith.
Meanwhile,
out on the snow, these guys creep up to the door looking like something out of Where Eagles Dare or some other snowy World War II film, and unlimber their submachine guns, and they look like they're doing, and then about to bust into the room, or bust into the hall. In fact, they look at their watches, and then
I'm going
what do you
to
do?
jump out with my Tommy gun,
Okay.
and because I don't want them busting in and shooting people, so I'm gonna jump out with my Tommy gun and do a. Did they have their machine guns out?
2 of them are holding the machine guns. One of them has a hand on it, but it's not in a firing position. He's just holding it with his right hand. He's got a watch on it, and he's looking at his watch.
Okay. So if I give them a warning and they already have their machine guns out, then they could just turn around to shoot me. See, I'm not going to give them a warning. I'm just going to go.
You're just gonna blast these guys? Okay,
I'm just gonna blast
gonna
these guys. They killed somebody.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's go ahead.
Probably Nazis.
Check out.
So
Yeah, it's probably Nazis.
Probably Nazis.
Probably Nazis.
I'll aim for their legs.
All right, your firearm skill is 5. You do not have any specialization in auto-fire weapons, but what I'm going to need you to do here is give me, let's see here, 1, 2, yeah, give me 3 rolls on that 5, and we'll see how you do. You're going to try and aim low. Is that the plan?
Yes.
Which is actually a great plan, because according to what's his name, the American Japanese senator from Hawaii, in a way. When I went to the World War II museum, and he was talking about how to use a Thompson gun, because he was out there, and they all you aim low because the barrel rises when you shoot.
I'm super.
So and not only does it rise, it goes to the right. So you'd always aim at the guy's left foot, and then it would end up stitching him from his foot all the way up from his left foot to his right shoulder.
I told everyone this was going to be edutainment.
Yeah. In case you have a massacre you'd like to perpetrate with a Thompson, then this will be
okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So go ahead and give me a roll of 5 dice, please.
All right. So I'm aiming for their legs, but I'm going to completely slaughter them. Good to know. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, like in the song. Like the headless Thompson gunner. That's the gun you're talking about? I know what you're talking about. I understood that reference. I know it from a nerdy song. How about that? Okay, let's keep playing this game. I'm sorry. I just realized I knew a gun fact.
There you go. Yes, this is in fact the weapon wielded by Roland.
Roland the headless Thompson gunner. Indeed. Okay.
All right, I've gotten in my fucking Warren Zevon reference for the night. I feel really good.
Oh, man. Okay.
Now, if you guys have to go to London to pursue some werewolves, it's no fault of mine. All right, open fire.
All right, so it's 3 on the first one,
okay,
2 on the second one, and 2 on the third one.
Okay.
So 3, 2, 2.
All right, these guys have a defense of my favorite sound effect.
and the headless corpse.
Oh, we got folks in the comments wanting to know what's nerdy about Warren Zevon.
What's not nerdy about Warren Zevon, you nerd?
Come on, he used the word brucellosis in a song. Okay,
One of
right
us.
there.
I wrote a whole
hair
essay
was
on his
perfect.
horror references. That's how nerdy he is. I guess that's not his fault technically, but
Yeah.
Excitable
At least
Boy is a weird song. A cage is built from bones. That's weird.
Yes. He dug up her grave and built a cage with his bones.
Yeah.
I only know Werewolves of London. I need to listen
Oh my god,
to
his songs are so weird and great. Yeah, no, that guy is a total nerd weirdo. He's great.
Right now, you guys are kind of in the song "Lawyers, Guns, and Money."
Yes,
as
yes,
in,
yes.
As in, send lawyers, guns, and money.
Lawyers,
This
guns, and
shit has
money.
hit the fan.
It's a great album.
All right, so all right, you got 3, 2, and 2. These guys are surprised, so they don't get to use that part of their defense, and they get stuck with just 0, 2. All right. First guy absolutely gets nailed. He's like, like kneeling down on the ground on one knee, looking at the door. You open fire and you end up clocking him through the thighs and calves. It's just, and his feet just shoot out from under him.
This is the most PC thing I've done in years.
The other guy, one of the guys gets tagged. You can see this, you can see that of impact on that white jacket. The last guy, somehow, the guy who was sort of looking at his watch, you missed him. He sort of dodges back. Now, some of these bullets end up going through the glass windows into the hall.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Bullets.
That's a thing.
Yeah. That's a thing to remember. However, the bullets crash into the hallway. That's bad. There are some screams. You elicit some screams from inside. Let's see how that worked out. All right. These gentlemen seem very surprised by this turn of events. I'm just saying. Especially the guy who you shot through the legs. He's just, howling, basically.
Screaming and screaming and screaming, as I'm sure what the guy is doing, actually. Like, it's extremely horrible.
It's not, it's a flesh wound. It's he's just not happy about the whole thing. I can't remember which movie it was I saw, but the thing where they find the guard and they're like, well, we got to knock him out. And it's like, how? We hit him on the head. And the guy's being really quiet. He's like, no, KSSO. The guy doesn't speak any English. So they hit him on the head. And as soon as they do, it's like an alarm goes off. It's just, they hit him on the head with a pistol and he's just like, ah! And now it's loud. Now everyone's coming, because they thought, well, I saw it in the movie. You hit him on the head. No, that doesn't work out so high. It works in pulp. You guys can totally hit people.
Sure, let's let this man bleed out crying.
Yeah. Crawling away, leaving a trail in the snow. Yeah. It is no longer a white Christmas. I'm just saying.
No.
I keep a Tommy gun trained on them. Gentlemen, drop your guns.
Okay, I am presuming that you are like over by the stairs up onto the patio, which is close to the door. You got a little cover there by the stairs. You're not just standing out in the middle of the patio.
Yeah.
Or did you shoot at them through the stone holes in the I think you said you came around to get behind them, right?
I think I was still behind the wall. I don't think they said they came around. So I think I was kind of.
You could just aim through the top of this little wall area and be able to see them. All right. Well, they're not happy about that.
Really?
Relatable.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna. I suspect that. Let's see here. What you're doing is kind of an act of intimidation, but I'm going to just see how intimidated they are by the whole thing. Well, holy shit. Apparently, they're just crazy enough to start some shit.
Okay.
Yes.
The guy you tagged in the arm is holding his machine gun one-handed to spray at you, and the other guy is taking his off from around his shoulder, no longer looking at his watch. Now, back inside the hallway, you guys are running up the stairs. You hear, make me a perception roll.
Make me?
Yeah, both of you, Molly and
Sorry.
Lehman.
I'm sorry, I was caught up in the action.
I know. 2.
2.
Ooh, 4.
Okay. Both of you hear it loud and clear. Molly hears it probably well enough to go, "That's a Chicago typewriter."
Yeah.
And here's the machine gun fire off. And that's the weird thing about the Thompson. It's 1936. The U.S. military doesn't use this weapon. For some reason, they marketed it to ranchers for varmint control.
Yeah.
This is what you'd shoot coyotes with because it wasn't sportsman enough to shoot them with a lever action. But so she might have actually heard this thing fire off in someplace other than a talkie.
I believe it.
But she hears it often. She hears the sound of a machine gun, knows it's a Thompson. You, Lehman, you're like, you know it's a machine gun. It sounds like everything that everyone ever told you a machine gun would sound like, basically. What do you do?
We're turning regular cheese into Swiss cheese up there. We better get going.
I'm right behind you or in front of you, whichever way is best.
So this is just more inspiration. This is more inspiration for the running. Okay, give me a.
I didn't think it was that nice a cup.
Yeah, give me an athletics roll, please.
Oh, me? Or just him?
Yeah, both of
2.
you, as you're running up the stairs.
Oh.
2. And Molly, how's your athletics?
I'm getting there. 2.
Okay.
Is a 4 out of 6.
4 out of 6 is good. All right, here's why you need to roll athletics. Just seconds after the machine gun fire started, suddenly all the lights in the mansion go off. Boom. And there's yelling and screaming downstairs and the sounds of crashing glass. And suddenly you guys hear even more machine gunning. You hear a crashing sound downstairs that's pretty loud. Go ahead and give me a perception roll to figure out what the crashing sound is.
That's 4.
Okay.
3.
Okay. You both recognize the crashing sound as the front door is being thrown open.
Oh.
Ugh.
And then the sounds of more machine guns being fired and a whole lot of screaming. There is now the strobe light effect coming from down the stairs somewheres. And perhaps the silhouettes of people thrown up on the walls, perhaps a Brian Blessed shaped silhouette thrown up on the walls by the strobing machine gun effects as he is gunned downstairs.
I don't feel as bad now about my my glass trick. Not gonna lie. I'm glad he wasn't meant to show up in the third book.
Yeah, like horribly disfigured.
I'm going to just take hold of Calamity so that when hopefully my sort of second sight kicks in the darkness, like I can sort of help guide us.
That is true. You do in fact have the second sight. So
are you
let's go ahead and that's not entirely outside the possibilities of this game. Oh. But
we're Methodist.
Yes.
Let's see here. So that means you get I'll let you use your perception skill.
Yay.
To get around in the dark. Okay. But yes, the place is dropped into darkness. You can also see that there are flashlights flashing around downstairs. So whoever has kicked the door in and fired machine guns has apparently brought a light source with them.
That's handy.
What are you going to do?
I seek some sort of cover. Try to find a place up above. Does the stairs lead to a landing that just to a second floor, or to like a
It does lead to a landing. There are, up here, there are a couple of halls going off in either direction. this is the doors. Now, this area was not open to the party. There aren't any guests in this area, or there weren't supposed to be. I suspect in one or more rooms there's somebody jumping off of somebody else and clutching their garters or whatever, and pulling up their comical long john style underwear.
Trying to get that Broomhilda gear all back on.
Hopefully there's nothing like that stuff in the Overlook Hotel, But anyways, yeah, somebody else got that reference. But hey, the Toad. For cover, you'd have to get off the hall. That is, just duck into a room or something.
All right, I'll sort of try to
that's an option.
Just trying to sort of keep an idea of just like where the door was, like where exterior rooms might be with windows. Mm-hmm. I think that's sort of where I'm trying to usher us towards, using what second sight I can to sort of lead us away from danger.
Okay, that's cool. Give me a roll on perception.
3.
Okay. You're opening your Kundalini. Yeah, there's kind of a doodly-doo thing, and then the scene fades. You can see it in the other room. Yes, in fact, there does appear to be a room right over here with a window and a balcony.
Sounds good to me.
All right, you guys duck in there.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Right. So now you're getting to have more gunfights. I'm going to go ahead and say that you burned, because I didn't really give you an amount of bullets. I'm going to say you burned 10 rounds trying to shoot 3 guys. That's 3 bullets per guy, basically, that you burned up when you fired. Because we didn't really determine how many rounds you wanted to fire. And since you never really handled a Thompson gun before, that's just how many bullets you ended up spending. This time, 2 of the guys look like they're going to turn their weapons on you. How many bullets you want to fire, and how much at each guy? Because the guy with the one-handed is going to get to shoot this round. The guy who's getting his weapon ready is going to shoot next round. So that's all on you, Rachel.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have called you out.
You were over in the scene with the other guys, and I zoned for a second. I apologize.
I was like, wait, is it me? No, it's not me.
No.
Who's shooting at whom?
Yes.
Well, it is in the dark. We are having a gunfight in the dark. Now, it's going to be a little more difficult because the lights do go out, plunging, suddenly the lights go out, Rachel. And those guys who were silhouetted against the light of the Great Hall have suddenly been plunged into darkness. How much? 2 of them looked like they were about to open fire on you. One was going to try and shoot you one-handed with the machine gun, with a big minus, and the other guy was going to get his gun ready off his shoulder and shoot you next combat round, or try to. Who gets the majority of the bullets? Who gets the most bullets?
The one who already has a gun out.
All right, fair enough. How many rounds do you want to fire at him, and how many rounds do you want to fire at the other guy?
Let's see. How many rounds do I have?
Well, you have a lot. You've never fired this weapon before. You're not really sure. It's somewhere more than 20 and less than 100.
Okay.
It'll be a big surprise when it runs out. Probably it will run dry at a moment that the author feels is most dramatic. That's how most firearms work.
And when it runs out, I have my own gun, so I'm good to go. Okay, well, I am going to, I don't know, try and shoot like 5 into the first guy. That sounds like a good number.
Okay. All right, let's go with a 5 and an 8-round burst, 5 on one guy, 3 on the other.
All right.
We'll try that. So go ahead and give me another attack roll, please, under your firearms attack. There's 5 dice.
3.
Okay. Okay, and the other one, roll 3 dice. Or sorry, roll 5 dice again.
1. So not so much there.
All right. Well, you see what his defense is. Okay, his defense is enough to block that, or he's able to get out of the way. The other guy gets shot again. So he's been shot twice now, or hit twice. Not seriously, not central torso hits, but nonetheless, he's not happy about the whole thing, and he is going to attempt to use his machine gun here to fire back at you, which is wow.
Oh boy.
Wow. He gets 6 dice. I rolled the first 4. I got zeros.
Whew.
And okay, wow, he shit at his job. With the minus, he had a minus, he didn't get all the dice because he was firing one-handed. Go ahead and roll your defense, but it's very unlikely he's going to be able to tag you.
Yay! I wasn't sure if it was a good wow or a bad wow, so.
Roll me, I rolled 4 dice and they all came up zeros. I'm just amazed.
3.
Okay, you're fine. Bullets ping around off the stone, the wall that you're sort of behind, but they do not hit you. We will continue this battle in a moment. You guys crash into the bedroom. It's an empty bedroom. There's some light coming from the light that is coming from the outside appears to be just regular moonlight or whatever. But there is definitely some light outside that's moving around, like flashlights are outside. So
that's not good.
You can see the window across the room. Do you want to try a room with a window that doesn't have people armed with flashlights outside?
Well, it's a question of whether if these windows could be opened out to knock them. That would be one thing.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, there's flashlights on the ground. There's guys running around on the ground.
Oh,
outside
I see.
With flashlights.
We're on the second story, right?
Yeah,
we're on the second story. I feel like those guys are going to be making their way in, so I'm happy making my way out at this point.
Okay.
Rather than stumbling around in the dark.
All right. Go ahead and start getting okay, you come to the door. It is locked. You want to just kick your way through it? Or is it, says the guy with larceny.
That's right. I would like to try to larcen this door open.
Yeah.
Okay. Do that. Catastrophe, give me a roll on your perception skill, please, or your perception attributes.
Oh, that's okay, though. 5.
Okay.
That's 1 success.
Okay. He gets the door open smooth as silk. Poop, pops right open. You guys go right out onto the balcony immediately. Go ahead and give me another perception roll from both of you. Actually, you know what? Let's just skip that.
Okay.
Because you hear people shouting and yelling and running around down there, and there's you can still hear screaming from the hall, and there's more gunshots being fired, and although not a lot, not a fusillade of gunfire, but you can hear some gunfire taking place outside the house. You definitely can hear people yelling in German downstairs.
Schnell.
There's a lot of Schnell, absolutely, going on downstairs. That is a thing. So what do you do? The balcony is covered in covered in snow. It's kind of snow encrusted. So getting low enough on the balcony will probably mean you won't be seen from people on the ground floor. So gives you some benefits to sneak along the balcony until you find a place you want to try and get down, or a tree you want to leap into, or something.
I think that's sort of that's what I'm aiming for at this point, is to just get down.
Ivy-colored covered trellis or something that you would
down.
Yeah. All right. So you guys start shimmying along. You go outside. Give me both some stealth rolls, please.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have stealth. That's a skill I have.
I think you both have pretty decent stealth, but since you're both kind of...
2.
2 stealth? 2 successes.
Yeah, 2 successes.
I got 3 successes.
You are the stealthiest person in the group, as a matter of fact. It's all that time out on the range, and possibly sneaking out of actors' trailers when you're not supposed to be in them. Let's see here. You guys are sneaking along. Give me a perception roll on both of you.
Oh, 4.
That is 0. No, that's 1 success. Sorry.
Okay. Then perhaps it's your awesome maybe it's your hearing, maybe it's your what do you call it, sixth sense. But Lehman, you are suddenly aware that there is one of these Parker clad commandos, probably all spelled with K's, out on the balcony, having come out the door that you guys have just exited with a machine gun, and he looks one way and there the other, and sees you guys on the balcony and begins to raise his machine gun to fire.
Oh, okay. Then I guess we're just gonna have to. How close are we to the next? Well, no, we don't want to go in. I think we're gonna have to go. I think we're gonna have to jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, both.
I don't see a single other way out of this. Do you?
We're almost.
There's the shooting the guy. You can always shoot him.
We could just shoot a guy. It's true. But we don't know who else is coming up the stairs.
Nah, I feel like we should Butch Cassidy it.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna take a jump into freeze frame.
All 4 of our legs.
All right, roll me some dice here for the jump. That'll be under athletics. Gentleman John has 5, and you've got 6 in acrobatics and 6 in athletics.
Oh, nice. All right.
If you want to roll athletics and acrobatics and succeed, I will let you jump off the balcony and shoot the guy as you turn in the air.
Like all 12 dice?
No, you just roll 6 and then you roll 6.
Okay.
You wouldn't roll them all together.
Okay, so that is 4 successes for the first roll.
You land marvelously on the ground.
Okay.
Or you will land marvelously on the ground. Now roll for the athletics to see if you're able to do something crazy, like turn in the air and get a shot at this guy before you land on the ground.
That is another 4 successes.
All right, I'm going to call that good. Lehman, how'd you do on your athletics roll?
I got 3.
All right, that's what you're looking for. You guys don't take any damage from the jump. You land in snow. Everything's great. Molly, give me a... Let's see here. Give me a roll on your Colt Peacemaker. You got 12 dice.
Oh, God,
and tell me what you roll.
Okay. 6 successes.
Okay, he had a defense of 4. He rolled 2. That means he takes 4 damage, and that kills him dead as a hammer. Boom!
Yay!
Dead center.
Hooray!
Our first dead Nazi of the night, as opposed to Rachel, who seems to be more content with shooting their arms and legs off one at a time.
Both are acceptable.
Until they're reduced to mewling, sort of torsos.
Yeah,
we're like maiming Nazis.
It's to the death versus to the pain,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, fantastic. All right, let's go back
just so you know, we're sort of entering into the last little bit of our time. So just so you're aware,
that's quite all right. I am keeping track that it is now about 15 minutes away. So that is till 8. You want me to stop at 8?
Maybe a bit early. I think I'm hearing some stirrings going on. So
that's fine.
Whenever's good for you.
Then go ahead, Rachel. Go ahead and give me your another exchange of gunfire with these gentlemen.
All righty.
Over here.
Two for the first one. And again, only 1 for the second one. I just cannot get that guy.
Okay. These guys, open up. That guy does 3 successes. All right, give me a defense roll, please.
2.
Okay. Okay. All right. The both these machine guns are now opening up on you. And there's this the wall, the little cement or whatever it is, railing is just being shot to pieces. Bits of chips of rock are coming off.
Horrible.
You manage to dodge some of the damage, but you do take a hit.
Oh
This is our
no!
first player character hit of the night. That is, let's see here. Edith Carruthers has 7 health, being quite the sturdy young woman. And well, I hope I did that right. Is that right? Body? Yeah. Okay.
Served me well in my adventuring in the Kalahari.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's willpower plus body. Your character has willpower through the roof.
Ah.
You take a hit somewhere. Let's I don't know where. Let's say something dramatic, like since you're shooting through the wall, maybe it's shoots a shoulder or pings you there. But ow! It's actually blood has been drawn from you. What do you do?
Is there any like decent cover behind the wall, or has it basically been blown?
No, the wall is really, really good cover. One of the reasons you only took 1 point of damage, despite these guys both blazing away on you, is that the wall itself probably comes up to here on you, up to your collarbones, and you're mostly blocked. You're just this gun barrel and part of this head sticking out between the stone columns with a stone or concrete railing on top, right? But you're having this gun battle at like 20 feet apart. I mean, it's super close. You're under a lot of cover. They're under none. You haven't fired this type of weapon before, which puts you at some disadvantage. But at the same time, they're professional killers. So the result is that you've wounded 2 of them fairly badly. One of whom's out of action. And the other one, at least he stopped yelling. And the other one is injured enough so it's messing up his ability to shoot at you. But the other guy is pretty accurate, and he's probably the guy that tagged you. So you're actually under pretty great cover. However, if you duck down behind the wall, there's no way they can hit you. Then it's just a matter of, but the problem is you won't see them, and if they change position, it'll be a big damn surprise if they're someplace else. But if you change position, just scoot along the wall, you can disengage with these guys relatively easily. Plus, it's all dark, right? And these guys don't have their flashlights on, but if they turn their flashlights on, that's just a great place to tell you where to shoot the bullets.
Okay, I am going to duck behind the wall and kind of creep my way along. I'm going to swap out the Tommy gun for my trusty rifle that I brought because I trust that more for accuracy for sniping that bastard who
I'm gonna be a jerk. I'm gonna be a jerk and say you can switch out for your trusty pistol because it's hard to get a rifle into a party.
All right.
The rifle is in the Wells Fargo carriage. If you can, so you're stuck with the problem of using a pistol to fight your way to your rifle, that is how that works. You can still stick with Thompson for a little bit longer, but yeah, I'm gonna say that you can't get that. You couldn't get that. And it's a big rifle. It's a hunting rifle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a.
Hoping I could bring it to show it off, but
Yeah.
as it is, you were able to whip out your Royal Irish Constabulary Bulldog, which is a fine little revolver, or actually a fine, sturdy, big revolver, and use that. But if you want to hold on to the Thompson a little bit longer, that's fine too.
All right.
You've probably blown about 30 rounds through it right now.
Okay, I'll hang on to the Thompson then.
Okay. So you're gonna go down the wall and around the side of the house. All right. I'm gonna let you get away with that for about 3 combat rounds. You're going around, and you're getting around the side of the house. Way behind you, you hear an explosion. Boom! Where one of the Germans decided to throw a grenade over the wall rather than stick his head over the wall and get shot in the face. So they just threw the grenade into into the hedges where you're not.
What a jerk.
What a
Howard.
jerk.
That's
He
the
is a
best place
jerk.
to have a grenade thrown, where you're
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Every
you're coming
girl's
around to
dream.
the you're coming around to the front of the house where the Wells Fargo where the truck is, where the Wells Fargo vehicle is, the carriage. As you come around the front of the house, you can see guys moving around with flashlights. Let's see here. Everybody make perception rolls, please.
4.
2.
4.
All right. The two people who rolled 4, you guys spot each other. All right. As she comes around the side of the house, you both actually catch sight of each other. Molly, you catch sight of fellers who probably need killing. Out front there are a number of gentlemen in these white parkas. Let's see how many there are. There are 3 of these guys you can see around the front of the house. 2 are particularly close. The gunshot in midair got their attention. So they see you guys land, you do the hero landing with the one hand down, because it's
cool.
a Marvel movie. It's super cool. and come up 6 guns ablazing.
Yeah, I'll try to bust a cap in one of these jerks.
Let's get back to back, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack, please. Actually, what's your dex? Your dex is pretty high. Dexterity.
Perhaps that's true.
4. I looked on your sheet.
Okay. So roll that.
Go ahead. No. That's just. I was going to say I was going to make you roll initiative on this Nazi. Should have been doing that all along, but what the hell? Your initiative is 7. I'm just going to say his initiative is lower. You go first. So go ahead and give me your 12 dice roll and see if you can plug this guy.
Oh, okay. Oh, so many times. Okay. That is 8 successes.
Nice.
That is not so good for him. He has 3 successes on defense, which means he only takes 5 damage, which means you killed him dead. Boom!
Yay!
You shoot another Nazi. He says something like "Mutti" or "Schutzstaffel" or "Mein Leben" and falls over dead.
Ach du Liebe! Actually, no, we all know what he does. He Wilhelm screams to hell.
Yes.
All right, you get shot at, Molly, by somebody with a machine gun.
Well, that's not very polite.
No, give me a defense roll. I believe your defense is 7. Jesus.
I found it. That would be 4 successes.
Oh, all right. Well, his 3 successes against you are wiped out by your 4 successes. The snow explodes around you as bullets careen in your general direction.
I'm going to turn around and pat my own butt at him in like a taunting way, like a charming old west sort of like, you couldn't hit the broadside more than 6 feet, like that kind of.
And then shoot him, and then bend over and shoot him from between your legs. Just bend over.
Yes. Sure, if I can invoke my flaw, then sure.
All right, I'm going to say the taunting is definitely a necessary risk. Congratulations, you have a style point.
Yes.
Absolutely, Lehman. What are you doing?
All right, so I will.
The machine gun bullets are landing in your general vicinity. It's no fun.
Yeah. We need to. I'm trying to gather my comrades and get us to the horses, who I guess are just sort of chill with all this if they've been hanging out with Calamity.
No, they're tied up, but they're unhappy. Okay. Because gunfire.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to get us to there. If need be, I'll
bring you. Go ahead.
I'll get my Colt out and take some sort of backward shots as I'm trying to get us to the car. But other than that,
okay. I was gonna say Calamity didn't bring you in there.
Come along.
How's that?
I said we were supposed to be doing something, guys. Come along.
We have the thing.
We do
Yeah,
have the
you have the
thing.
thing. It's time to go. Time to go with the thing. All right. Let's see here. You guys charge across the snow. Molly is taunting a Nazi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the Nazi get his shot in at you.
What the?
Well, you were taunting. Go ahead and roll me a defense.
What do we agree? That was 7? Yeah.
7, yeah.
Yes. I think that's what your defense was.
Okay. So, ooh, things do not look good for Homestar Runner. That is 2 successes.
All right. He rolled 3 successes. He tagged you. I think you take 1 point of damage, possibly
in the butt
in
cheek?
your butt.
Okay.
No, it's in your butt. You just got
Yeah.
shot in the butt with a 9mm bullet.
Yeah.
Bang! Ow!
Jehoshaphat!
My biscuits are burnt.
Yeah.
I think the next line is, my biscuits are burnt.
Nailed it.
Do you have something?
We're going to come back
say
into
to
a
this?
Deadlands game after this, aren't we?
Do you have something to say to this Teutonic twat who
Oh my
tagged you
gosh.
and took us?
No,
He
I
says
don't.
alliterating?
I don't think so. Now I'm too shocked to say anything. No, that hurt, you son of a gun. I'll be
Bang.
back for the rest of your skin.
So you're fleeing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
we're all of us. We're all
Yep.
gearing to get to our
I
getaway
agree
wagon.
that it's time for me to drive the horses, if that's what you do with
All right.
horses. You drive them?
And charging from the wall over to the wagon.
Yeah.
And again, I'm sort of like, once I'm in any sort of position of cover, I'll start like trying to like provide some kind of covering fire just to let folks
Okay.
get to us.
You're gonna use your New Year's Eve noisemaker. Yeah.
Just
Go
an item?
ahead and give me an attack roll, please. You have
Okay.
7.
Yep. Oh, that's 1 out of 7.
Okay. Who knows? You might tag a guy. Let's see here.
I rolled 4 1s. I was like, what? Come on, guys. Even in the evens odds games, the 1s keep cropping up.
All right. You miss that guy as you're running, as you get to the wagons and shoot. Bang. Molly's a little, the Calamity's moving, Catastrophe's moving a little slower because ow, 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 ow.
It's more of a lope at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's gonna be tough riding a horse for a couple.
Oh.
Of
Yeah.
I'll get the special cushion.
We won't even have no dinner.
You're gonna have to get one of those inflatable donuts for your saddle.
Yeah.
So, Edith,
Won't
you're
be the
crossing.
first time.
Edith, you're crossing over. Do you want to go ahead and just sort of empty this Tommy gun, throw it in the snow? Just
Oh, good
shoot
heavens,
up
yes, I
everything?
do.
Yeah.
All right.
Murder them
Go
where they
ahead and
stand.
Go ahead and give me 3 rolls of 5 dice, and tell me the numbers that are generated from that.
2,
Mm-hmm.
3,
Mm-hmm.
and 3.
2, 3, and 3.
2, 3, and 3.
Okay, man. You open up and you manage to hit 3 fucking guys.
Hell yeah.
You don't kill anybody, but you're firing and guys are getting shot in the foot and just falling over into the bushes.
You're
and
the
guys
only
are
good
getting,
member of this team.
guys are getting, shot where, I'm always horrified by the number of people getting shot is in the hand, because you people point guns and the gun tends to be in the center mass. When somebody shoots back, there's this weird thing where people get shot in the hand a lot. And so, because again, when you're holding the weapon, it's often in center mass. You shoot some guy in the hand, which is very ugly when you're shot with a 45, and you manage to shoot somebody else, in some other body part and do 2 points of damage, and that's half his hit points. So he just sits the fuck down when that happens. Yeah, you do a lot of damage. Guys jump for cover, it's clearly a problem. Everyone's diving for cover. All the nice fancy cars that are parked up front, you're shooting the windshields out and knocking the lights off of them.
Take that 1%.
I'm beginning to see the appeal of this weapon.
You hurl the steaming Thompson down into the snow where it sizzles, having let off a round of bullets like what's his name in Miller's Crossing, Albert Finney,
Yeah.
blazing away in Miller's Crossing, and throw the steaming Thompson into the snow, and you can get to you can get into the carriage, and up top, I guess. Molly, give me an athletics roll to get up onto that, up on top of that thing, and
Okay. That
actually, you have to do
What?
two things first. Give me a first thing you'll have to do is give me an attack roll with your with your Bowie knife to chop the reins off, or unsecure the horses.
Oh.
Because they're secured.
That is 3 successes.
That's all you need. I should have let you go ahead and make that as a regular one. So you chop that off. I guess Rachel, you're getting your rifle out.
Yes,
Lehman, give me an attack on one of the Nazis who's bold enough to stick his head out after all that machine gun fire.
Lousy Nazis coming around here, trying to steal from my mark. That's 4 successes.
That's what?
4 successes.
Did you get four successes? All right, let's see how that does. Oh, you tag a guy. He goes down.
Hooray.
All right, Molly, give me that athletics roll, and then you were up into the saddle, or up onto the top of the coach.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay, that's enough to get up there. Anything less, you'd be hung up because of your bad your
Tangled
new butthole.
Your snake bite.
Yeah. My stirrups.
So obviously you I'm presuming what's the plan? You're now on top of this thing. What's next? Come on, catastrophe.
Like when everybody's
just hitting the top of the carriage in classic go go go.
Yeah. And it's like at the end of the Robin Hood animated movie where it's like all aboard, and I like chuck the reins and like roll out of the prison. It's been great.
All right, as you roar off or gallop off with your steaming horses towards the because they're of course they're steaming towards the front gates. Suddenly a spotlight goes on.
No.
You hear a roaring sound overhead, and everyone make your perception rolls.
I don't remember.
2.
Okay.
3.
All right. Swooping in from overhead is some sort of aircraft that is shining a light down on you. You've never seen this kind of aircraft before, except for whoever rolled the 3. Who rolled the 3?
Me.
Me, Molly. All right.
Yep.
What's overhead is some variety of auto gyro, one of those funky 1930s aircraft that got a prop in the front and a helicopter blade on the top, and looks like a wingless aircraft. And apparently, whoever's in it has a spotlight and has swung it down onto the top of your carriage, and is swooping in for some sort of attack. So tune in next week for episode 4 of Heroes of Hyperborea, starring Catastrophe Nell and Edith Carruthers and Gentleman John. That's all for this week's exciting adventures in Hollow Earth Expeditions.
All right. Thank you all so much. Thank you guys for playing.
The music goes.
the ad for cigarettes for children starts playing.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
cocaine in a bottle. It's a convenient bottle for.
Thank you to everyone watching. If you enjoyed this, you definitely need to look up the work of everyone here. Scott Glancy is one of the devious minds behind Delta Green, fantastic role-playing game. He's done a lot of game design, Emmy award-winning designer, absolutely genius. You can check out a lot of his work. Pelgrane Press, is that the best place to find? Or no, deltagreen.com.
Deltagreen.com. The Pelgrane stuff will be. No, actually, Pelgrane is doing some stuff with us. You're thinking of Arc Dream, which is what has the primary of the Delta Green stuff. There's still Pagan Publishing that has some of the older Delta Green stuff. You'll find that all on Drive-Thru RPG. So go there for that kind of goodies. I would also like to shout out to Hollow Earth Expedition, as a game created by Exile Studios up here in Seattle by Jeff Combos. This is the best pulp recreation game that I've ever run into, and I've been looking for a good pulp game since I saw Raiders in 1981. And this is the one. This was the game I always wanted.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for running. Rachel is the author of Mother Ghost, a book of nursery rhymes for little monsters, which is available wherever exciting and wonderful books can be found. Rachel, anything else you'd like to tell the folks about?
Not particularly. I've got, if you're interested in any of my other stuff, you can go to my website, www.rachelkolar.com. That's got links to some of my short stories for adults that are available online, which are, short stories for adults is probably more in line with Tommy gunning down Nazis, but
look, yeah. you need to take a break sometimes and have, ghastly rhymes.
Exactly.
And Molly, of course, frequent guest on the show. Your book, Creatures of Want and Ruin, is out and about and even on my shelf right here. Where can folks find you? What do you care to tell folks about?
Yeah, I write. That's the book I wrote. I wrote Creatures of Will and Temper and the Weird Western Vermilion. And you can find me usually on the internet. I'm always there. And my Insta, I put like a lot of work into my Instagram. So like I'm kind of proud of it. But yeah, if you want to friend me on Facebook, I would suggest dropping me a line first because I have like a friend no creepers rule, which means I haven't accepted a friend request since like the 2016 election. So tell me who you are and maybe we can be cool. Otherwise, Twitter. I don't know, whatever.
Thank you all for coming on. If you're interested in this show, this is Ask Lovecraft After Dark, sister program to Ask Lovecraft, my tri-weekly impersonation of horror writer H.P. Lovecraft, which you can find at asklovecraft.com. If you enjoyed this live show, you want to be a part of the conversation that was happening. Oh, we did have a final follow-up question. Warren Zevon or Tom Lehrer, who's nerdier?
I'm sorry that I called everyone nerds who watches this about Warren Zevon. I'm sorry I said that.
No. There's a nerdy. There is a nerdiness to.
There is a nerdiness to it. I don't know the
nerdiness to
I
Warren
can't
Zevon.
answer, but I have been. I've been anxiously waiting for a minute to apologize to all your viewers. So like that, and I forgot to do it.
No one was.
I wear that badge proudly. I wear that badge proudly. All right?
I know, me too. I do, but sometimes, like when you would call someone a nerd, sometimes you don't know if they take it in the like, "What's up?" spirit of like.
I
don't think anyone is watching a role-playing game on Ask Lovecraft who isn't a nerd.
Yeah. I gotta brag. I got to be a roadie for Warren Zevon when he played in New Orleans.
Oh my God!
Back in 1987. And it was just one of these things where I had a friend who was working with the university in some part of there. I think it was Andy Cohen was the guy's name, and he had this thing where there was something where we could get volunteers to show up and move amplifiers around for free, and then we got like a free drink or two at the bar when they were done. And yes, got to see Warren Zevon play back then. I've seen him play twice, but I did get to move his amplifiers around, so that's my brush with greatness.
Wow! Oh my God,
yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, if you want to be able to have a front row,
he's tiny. The man was just tiny person.
Yeah,
very small.
Yeah.
If you want to have a front row to fun revelations like this and more edutainment, we learned a lot about dead horses. And
I'm sorry about that too if that was wrong.
Just
stop apologizing for being awesome.
No, I don't know if it's true I don't know if it's true that Vikings ate dead horses that they buried for a year, and I feel like that was maybe a rude thing to say if that's not true.
I'm sure someone eats dead horses that have been buried for years. It's a big world, and we eat a lot of stuff. You can, if you would like to be part of these live conversations, you can join the Ask Lovecraft Appreciation Society on Facebook. It's charming. It's fun. We have all sorts of goof 'em ups. And it's a great conversation. I hope you'll be a part of us there. If you want to find out more about me, about what I'm doing, live shows, things like that, you can go to lehmankessler.com. I'm going to be at the convention in Cleveland in March, I think is the next thing coming up. So more information about that as we get closer. And also you can follow me on Twitter, where I am constantly screaming into the void at Lehman Kessler. Thank you to everyone who came on the show. Thank you to everyone who watched the show. It's been an absolute blast. We're obviously going to have to come back and find out what happened to our heroes because this was way too much fun. We're all going to come back with like rootin' tootin' cowboy characters, and Molly's going to be very annoyed at us for chomping her flavor.
The more the merrier.
But thank you all so much. Thank you all for being on this show again. And everyone at home, have a wonderful, happy holidays.
Yeah. Farewell.
Bye all.
Be seeing you.
Bye.